13 Stories About Harris by Amy Schwartz. 1. Harris was drawing a dragon on the sidewalk. It had a very long tail. It was so long that it went around Harris's tree and past Ayana's house and around Mrs. Gonzalez and around the corner and around the fire hydrant and past the falafel shop and up and down the no parking sign and around the mailbox and back past Mrs. Gonzalez. The dragon's tail was so long when he stopped drawing, Harris was right back where he'd begun. 2. Harris was standing on his truck, and he shouldn't have been. 3. Harris's mother asked Harris to please open the refrigerator. She took a little carton of cream off the middle shelf. She poured some into a jar. Harris shook the jar back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. He shook the jar up and down and up and down and up and down. Then Harris's mother opened the jar, and there was butter inside. She spread the butter on toast with some strawberry jelly, and Harris and his mother ate it for lunch. 4. Harris had never been to a birthday party before, but he was invited to Ayana's. Harris was wearing his white sweater and his white shorts and his green shoes. He looked very nice. Harris played London Bridge and Duck Duck Goose. He ate a piece of chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and a scoop of chocolate ice cream with chocolate sprinkles and chocolate sauce. At 3 o'clock, the party was over. Harris looked very nice. 5. Harris and his mother and his father were out for a walk. It was so windy that Harris's mother's shopping list blew right out of her hand. It was so windy that Harris's hat blew off of his head and he had to run and catch it and put it back on. It was so windy that a big branch fell off of Harris's tree and Harris's father had to call the city to come and pick it up and take it away. It was a very windy day. 6. It was Thanksgiving and Harris was a truck. He was a truck all the way to his grandmother's house. He was a truck while he ate turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes and peas. He was a truck while he played checkers with his grandmother. And he was a truck when he took a nice walk outside. Vroom, vroom, and Harris was a truck all the way home. 7. Stanley was a hamster. He belonged to Ayana and Harris was watching him. Today was the day to clean Stanley's cage. Harris tore a newspaper into little strips. Harris's mother refilled Stanley's water bottle. She put some hamster food in Stanley's dish. "Harris, look," Harris's mother said. Harris looked. There were 6 tiny pink baby hamsters next to Stanley. Harris and his mother were very surprised. 8. That's why they call permanent markers permanent, Harris's mother said. 9. Harris and Ayana were having a play date. They took Harris's pillows off of his bed. Then they took the pillows out of the pillowcases. They took off their socks and their shoes and jumped in the pillowcases because they were giant worms that were taking over the world. 10. Harris and his mother were visiting preschool. Harris and the preschool lady played blocks. The preschool lady threw Harris a ball. Harris threw it back. "Harris," the preschool lady said, "can you tell me the names of 3 different animals?" "Toucan," Harris said. "Cheetah." "Gnu." "Harris," the preschool lady said, "what do you like to do for fun?" "I like to put grapes and mashed potatoes on my head," Harris said. Harris, the preschool lady said, is a very interesting child. 11. Harris and Ayana were at the beach. Harris took off his sneakers and his polka dot socks, and Ayana took off her sneakers and her yellow socks with dinosaurs. They found some shells and put them in buckets. They built a castle and dug a very deep hole. Then Harris and Ayana put their socks and sneakers back on because it was time to go home. At bath time, Harris took off his sneakers. Then he took off 1 polka dot sock and 1 yellow sock with dinosaurs. So did Ayana. 12. Harris and Ayana were in preschool. Harris decided to make a scary mask out of cardboard and construction paper and paper towel tubes and toilet paper tubes. The mask had scary teeth and scary eyes, and Harris wanted to make a scary nose too. Harris glued a toilet paper tube onto his mask. He wanted to glue another on top. That might not work, Harris's teacher said. Yes, it will, said Harris, and it did. 13. Harris and Ayanna were holding hands. They were in the park and they were going to hold hands forever and ever. Even if the strongest man in the world tried to pull them apart. Even if they were riding on elephants that were trumpeting and stampeding and trumpeting. Even if it was snowing and it kept snowing harder and harder when their mothers and fathers said, please, please stop holding hands, come home right away. Harris and Ayanna were going to hold hands forever and ever. The end.